Axel was Discharges undergoing a medical test ahead of Chelsea's move, while Fabrizio Romano and Le Parisien reported that AS Monaco Axel's central defender was presented with a medical examination ahead of his move to Chelsea. As reported by The Athletic on Sunday, Chelsea reached an agreement of €45 million with the Principality club. French international players will compensate for the absence of Wesley Fofana, who is absent due to long-term injury. At Stamford Bridge he will once again join Benoit Badiashile, who is his colleague as a central defender for Monaco. Romano is now reporting that Discharges is in England today to undergo a medical examination and sign a 5-year contract with Chelsea. With documents and contracts that have been exchanged, the agreement is almost complete, and Discharges will soon become a Chelsea player. Discharges as a French international last season and appeared at the Qatar World Cup. He appeared as a right back for Les Blues, even though he was clearly more central defender. Chelsea are tempted to recruit attractive strikers. Chelsea are discussing the signing option of Dusan Vlahovic in an agreement on the exchange of parts with Juventus, which will allow them to release Romelu Lukaku. As happened, Chelsea were trapped with Lukaku even though he didn't want it in their squad after his loan return to Inter. The Belgian international is interested in joining Juventus in the controversial transition in Serie A. However, Juventus have not been able to open an agreement. Therefore, Chelsea desperately tried to find a solution for Lukaku. And now, an answer may have appeared that allow them to strengthen simultaneously. According to Fabrizio Romano, the intermediary has continued the conversation with Chelsea about the possibility of an exchange agreement involving Vlahovic and Lukaku. In an exchange agreement, Chelsea had to pay a sum of money to Juventus in addition to entering Lukaku. However, Vlahovic is 7 years younger than Lukaku, so it might be more useful in the long run. Even so, they have not agreed on the value of each player. Therefore, more negotiations will be carried out if Chelsea is serious with Vlahovic. In the change of events, now it is not about Juventus who meet the price requested for Lukaku, but more about Chelsea get the right offer for Vlahovic. Chelsea are thinking about 3 midfielders to replace Caicedo's position. Chelsea are now looking for other options in midfield, with Tyler Adams, Edson Alvarez and Gabriel Vega are all being considered. 1. Alvarez is associated with a deadline of £40 million to Chelsea last summer, but the transfer failed to be realized because Ajax chose not to give sanctions out a few hours before the end of the window. The Mexican midfielder is now back to the Chelsea radar after being approached by Borussia Dortmund and West Ham United earlier this summer. 2. Vega attracted the interest of several European heavyweights, including Paris Saint-Germain and Manchester City. Currently, Celta Vigo has explained that they will not release him unless someone triggers the release clause of £34.2 million in his contract. 3. Tyler Adams became the cheapest option because the American player's relegation clause was around £20 million and was ready to be triggered following Leeds from the Premier League. With only 12 days left before Chelsea started their 23-24 season campaign against Liverpool, the Blues are expected to speed up their transfer activities, with head coach Mauricio Pochettino recently stated that his team needed at least one more experienced midfielder. Pochettino confirmed that the Chelsea Council has signed a new midfielder. Chelsea boss Mauricio Pochettino has confirmed that the midfielder who entered Leslie Ugachukwu was the signing made by the Chelsea Council. Athletic: The Blues report will pay £23.5 million for the midfielder and he will sign a long-term contract. The 19-year-old player is intended to appear in a friendly match between Rennes and West Ham this week, but will prepare a trip to London to complete the move to Stamford Bridge. Despite his young age, Ugachukwu has made 60 senior appearances for Rennes' childhood club, helping them finish 4th in League One last season. Pochettino said, "The information I can get is a player who is from France that they might sign with the idea to lend it. If this is the signing of the council, then he will get a lot of playing time at Chelsea if he really completed his move, but that is Pochettino's decision about his squad this season." Chelsea made a shocking offer to recruit 25-year-old Spaniard. According to The Athletic, Chelsea have submitted an offer to contract goalkeeper Brighton and Hove Albion, Robert Sanchez. The London giant currently has Kepa Arrizabalaga as their first-choice goalkeeper, but there is almost no competition behind him. Marcus Bettinelli did not travel for pre-season tour in the United States due to injury. Gabriel Slonina, Lucas Bergstrom, Eddie Beach, and Jamie Cumming are in the squad, but they are all inexperienced. Not surprisingly, Chelsea are looking for a new goalkeeper, and The Athletic reports that the club has approached to recruit Sanchez. The Spaniard was dropped by Brighton manager Roberto De Zerbi during the end of last season. He prefers to install Jason Steele in the goal because of his superior ability to play from behind. The Southern Coast club has recruited young goalkeeper Bart Verbruggen from Anderlecht.
Sanchez is now the third-choice goalkeeper in the ranks of Brighton.
Even so, Chelsea seemed interested in contracting him. The Athletic claims that Brighton has not responded to their transfer proposal for the Spanish goalkeeper. Sanchez has a broad experience in the division. The 25-year-old player has 87 appearances in his name, and recently, he is described as one of the best goalkeepers in the league. The new club can bring changes in his luck. Sanchez has a great opportunity to displace Arrizabalaga to become number one. Chelsea opened the door for West Ham to recruit Chalabah. According to The Athletic, West Ham might get encouragement in their efforts to bring Chelsea defender Trevoh Chalobah to the club, after the Blues agreed to the agreement to sign Axel, being distilled from Monaco. Athletic journalist Liam Toomey gave a report that Chalobah would be one of the players whose future was influenced by the arrival of Discharges, stating that the agreement would be bad news for Chalobah, because he had been seen as an asset that could be sold by Chelsea. West Ham was associated with a move to Chalabah earlier this month, because they wanted to increase the central defender option. Chalabah played an important role in the Chelsea defense last season, apart from the direction of the club that was churning, because he made 25 appearances of the Premier League in the midst of many changes with 3 managers at Stamford Bridge throughout the season. The pursuit of West Ham for the new central defender this summer occurred as a result of inconsistencies and injury problems, with the partnership of the Hammers' Kurt Zouma and Nayef Aguirre's central defender spent 30 matches last season. Chelsea and Levi Colwells have reached an agreement to extend his contract at Stamford Bridge. According to Guardian, Chelsea has reached a principal agreement with Levi Colwells for a 6-year contract. Chelsea quickly dismissed rumors that he would leave the club in the near future. The 20-year-old player has been associated with a move to Brighton and Hove Albion and Liverpool, but the Blues do everything to maintain the defender in the future. Chelsea now seems to have achieved it. The agreement between Chelsea and Levi Colwells' camp about a new long-term agreement after the final round of the conversation at night will be valid until June 2029. Chelsea always calls Colwells not for sale and untouched. He is now ready to survive with a new long-term contract. Chelsea are now interested in contracting Tyler Adams from Leeds United this summer. According to the Times report, they claimed that Chelsea began to shrink more midfield targets because of their efforts to sign Moises Caicedo from Brighton protracted. It can be understood that Tyler Adams is now in consideration to join the Blues. Apart from some of the encouraging individual performances last year in the Premier League,
Adams has now experienced degradation after Leeds descended to the
Championship. Athletic recently claimed that Adams had a £20 million degradation clause in his agreement at Leeds. In our view, the Premier League team can take Leeds midfield stars with a bargaining potential of £20 million. This 24-year-old player is a defensive midfielder who has many actions with stamina, aggression, tackles, and the quality of great soccer games. The United States international, who took the captain of his companion, Christian Pulisic, was too good to be in the second cast next season. We are not entirely sure he can enter Chelsea's starting lineup since the first day, but there is no doubt that he will strengthen the number 6 position that looks weak at the Stamford Bridge. Adams's appearance at the World Cup last year for the US made him compared to N'Golo Kante. Speaking at podcast, Ian Wright explained that Adams reminded him of Chelsea's favorite Kante with his tenacity in midfield. Wright said, "In the match yesterday, the United States versus British, I got the vibrations of Kanté in the way he killed, intercepted, handled, such vibrations." Predicted starting lineup for Chelsea versus Dortmund in a friendly match.
Formation 4-2-3-1. Goalkeepers:
Kepa Arrizabalaga. Right back: Reece James. Left back: Ben Chilwell. Center back: Thiago Silva. Center back: Levi Colwells. Defensive midfielder: Andre Santos. Defensive midfielder: Enzo Fernandez. Attacking midfielder: Chukwuemeka. Right winger: Raheem Sterling. Left winger: Michailo Mudryk. Striker: Nicholas Jackson. Okay guys, that is the prediction of the starting lineup for Chelsea versus Dortmund. What do you think? Don't forget to write your opinion in the comments column.